Amazon announced that they're laying off 30,000 employees. Why do you think that was the case? Was it because of AI or overhiring or any other reason?
What I would say is probably due to overhiring. When you talk about layoffs, like those are actual people, 30,000 or 16,000 or whatever that number is. It's like that's how many people are affected. That's how many families are affected. And so super terrible situation. But I think ultimately there were like 100,000 corporate employees at the company when I left. If you really like squinted at it, like were those 100,000 people like strictly necessary? Amazon has a history of taking big bets, right? So the idea, at least in Jeff Bezos' time, was we would take a bunch of big bets. The ones that did really well, we would double down on. And then the ones that didn't do well, we should have the courage to cut those and then to move those resources into the bets that are doing well. I think with the layoffs, it's basically they didn't want to redistribute those resources into the other bets. So I don't know. It doesn't seem very Amazonian to me. I think we should have a ton of ideas, especially in this AI age. Amazon should be starting a ton of different businesses. And so, I think fine, if you want to cleaver a bunch of features or a bunch of products that weren't working well, I think that's totally an Amazonian thing to do. The real Amazonian thing to do, though, would be to take all of those spokes and then redistribute them and then to just really double down on the stuff that is working. Because there's a ton of stuff that is working really well at the company.
Yes, I like that last part you talked about with redistributing the employees to other positions. I did a video the other day when another person brought that up, like they got laid off, or I guess somebody they knew got laid off, but the company was still online hiring for like 700 other type of positions. So it's like, why, instead of just laying off all these people, why can't they just help them out? Staying within the same company, you don't have to worry about extra, I guess, HR work for the most part, with trying to onboard somebody new. They're already accustomed to the company, already have the email for the company. They're already aware of kind of how the company culture and everything else is. So I feel like, yeah, it's better just to keep those people there if you're going to be hiring for other positions regardless. Now, I guess if the positions are too far different than everybody's like current job, I could see that being different. But I mean, if they're hiring like 700 plus jobs, I'm sure at least half of those are similar to the current jobs that people are doing there. So I'm glad that he talked about that. And also to talk about, at least for the tech side of things, some of these mass layoffs could be because of the mass hiring that happened after COVID.